Back.
Today, I would meet the kidnapper, and he would give me Alice. I wouldn't give him any other choice. A drowning
A
man.
drowning man.
Straw.
We will see about that.
Like the diver.
Oh yeah. You see a metaphor in everything. There's some kind of symbolism.
Yeah.
Which is great.
Little by little, without realizing it, I'd come to believe that the story
Yeah,
in
I'm driving like an
was
idiot.
coming true. The current of its
Because I
narrative
find
had
it
taken me
extremely
deeper
funny
and
how
deeper
he's
into
handling
dark
the
waters.
steering
Alice
wheel.
had been taken from me.
Yeah, he's very hectic.
Probably in jail.
See.
I was a fugitive from the FBI. The whole world taken over.
He's so
by the
fast with his
darkness was
hands.
trying to destroy me.
And he's so slow on foot.
But it matched a textbook case of insanity.
I have actually two more anecdotes to
Yeah, collectibles collectioning. Gathering collectibles. So this one, I have to tell this before you start with your story. You see the red chair, right? These are spread out across the game.
Okay.
And they are again a reference to Twin Peaks. To Dale Cooper's dream.
Yeah, those
scenes.
red rooms.
Yeah,
red room
and there are
dreams.
these chairs.
Oh.
And I read in the Remedy forums that one of the guys who worked at this game wrote about this. He said he had the idea from Twin Peaks and also from his dreams, from his own dreams. So it's 50%
His own dreams.
Twin Peaks reference and 50% created in his own weird dreams about these red chairs.
I actually had a racist zombie dream yesterday.
A racist zombie
Yes.
dream? Oh my
Yes.
god, this is probably because of Walking Dead, right?
Walking Dead could be, yes. I was at a party, and we were all having great fun. And suddenly, two black zombies.
It's Fat Man, and you're listening to KBS.
Okay, I'll better stop now. And
I want to apologize for kind of
Hey, but you have to keep on going after the radio show.
But I was detained. You see, I encountered a big shot cheap man with an itchy trigger finger who could use a lesson in manners and a boot in the ass. Not necessarily in that order either. Now, folks, I know I'm not being very informative here, and I apologize for that. I really should just keep quiet, but I'm just so peeved right now, because some people just shouldn't be carrying badges. I'm just glad that our Sheriff Breaker was there to straighten things out. And if someone I met last night is listening, let me just say, I'm sorry if my mouth got you in trouble. I'm pretty sure you're not the bad guy here. Godspeed, son. I hope you know what you're doing. Now, on a lighter note, I'll be talking to Dr. Nelson all morning. But first, a little music.
Two black zombies.
yeah.
Yeah.
So, let me ask you this first. Have you ever had the feeling that when you go back to a place where you spent like a really good time in the past,
Yeah.
for example, your hometown, so you come back to your hometown and you get this feeling as the world has moved on, speaking in
Dark Tower.
Dark Tower words.
Phrases, yeah.
So you're at this place where you spend like most... Okay.
I'm sorry, yeah.
FM. Hope you enjoyed that tune. Now, Doc, you were talking about life and finding that special someone, that soulmate.
Well, you were talking about that. I was saying I don't buy it.
Well, see, to
I
me,
think
that's
it's an
strange
interesting
because I
conversation, by the
always
way.
think he was a hopeless romantic.
You got me there, Pat. But I think love's where you look for it. And you need to do a lot of looking, sure. But the idea that there's that one special person out there for you, and if you miss that chance, it's gone forever and you're forever incomplete. I mean, isn't that depressing? Or heck, childish even? Hey, there's plenty of fish in the sea.
And apparently a fisherman has a fishing analogy for everything. But what you're saying, isn't that a little harsh?
Well, no. What I am saying is that your potential for finding that connection isn't limited to what's essentially a chance encounter. How is that harsh?
Yeah, well, I guess that's a nice thought, but let me say something personal here.
Okay.
Now, well, I don't disagree with you exactly, but I can't really fit that together with what I feel. What I what I felt for someone, because she was the one. She was. And I let her drift away from me. Maybe I didn't put in the work, I don't know, but, well, since then, and it was a long time ago, but since then there hasn't been anyone, not like her. And I'm not saying I dwell on her or haven't moved on. I like my life. I'm not living in the past, but I do miss the way she completed me.
You can't argue with the heart, Pat.
I'm sorry, folks. I had kind of a scary experience last night, and let's just say it's shaken a few things loose.
So, he was maybe in love with Barbara?
Oh, I don't know. It
And
could be a
he's-
possibility.
Maybe he's seen her, or something that might have remembered.
I mean, it's like that, and this is no spoiler. At this point, Barbara is definitely the person who was in love with Thomas Zane. Thomas Zane had a relationship with her, and she died. So, but that could be. I don't know.
Yeah,
You know?
because I think I kind of recall that she was like a muse
For Tom, yeah.
for Tom.
For Mott, spying on the writer on the ferry had been a disappointment. His boss had made Wake out to be something special, but Mott hadn't been impressed. He'd gotten a good long look at the wife, though, and he liked what he saw. Mott had fantasized about goading Wake into a fight, but it hadn't happened. Still, he'd get his chance to see if the writer had anything in him. He'd been promised as much.
Oh, and I kept calling the kidnapper Hartman, but that's the name of the psychology guy.
So it's actually Mott.
Yeah, it's my fault on the previous episodes. Yeah. What did you want to say?
But because a muse is
Oh, I have to say something else. I'm sorry. This is the car that was used in all the Evil Dead movies.
really.
The exact
I was
car,
supposed
yeah.
to meet the kidnapper at noon in the main building.
And it's
Cool line was quiet. It was
1973 Oldsmobile
Okay.
Delta 88,
I was just gonna ask.
and it's the favorite car of the director of the Evil Dead movies, Sam Raimi, and he almost used it in every movie he directed. And
know-
it's his classic. He calls it classic. And this is definitely a reference to the Evil Dead movies.
Did you know Sam Raimi was actually supposed to direct the World of Warcraft movie?
No, I didn't.
You didn't.
No.
Okay.
But did anyone up to this point work on this movie, really?
Yeah, I mean, it was kind of really getting serious with Sam Raimi and the World of Warcraft movie.
Yeah.
But then Sam Raimi took over another project because
Okay.
Blizzard was kind of waiting too long for all the story. What do you call that? When the company who writes the story is has to check if everything is all right, and they have to come up with the story and have to fit it into the world.
Okay, I don't know, editing? I don't know.
Yeah, like storyboard writing.
Okay, yeah.
And it took Sam Raimi too long, so he jumped off and took on another project.
Oh, okay, that's interesting.
And now the World of Warcraft movie is on hold because they have to find a director.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah. So we
Let me just say the sign that we last read after the manuscript
With
page.
Nightingale gone and the night wind blowing in through the broken studio window, Maine stared at Sarah. The sheriff looked away. Maine's voice shook with barely controlled anger. That boy's doing more drinking than thinking. I hope you know what you're doing, Sarah. He's got a sickness in his eyes. You take my word for it. He wants Wake for a reason, and it's not for anything good.
Yeah, that sign was saying that there was a volcanic eruption in the 70s and destroyed a lot of the mine shafts.
Okay.
And something like 30 or 60 miners were killed. And then
I
the
didn't
whole
want to go outside.
coal mining station was closed.
Cops had to be
But
looking
yeah.
for me. The noon sun turned the place into a sauna. The day dragged on. Different scenarios ran through my mind. Ways of how I'd torture the kidnapper to get Alice back. Or the different horrible things he could have done to her. I imagined her dead. I had no way of knowing she was still alive. It was killing me. I was running on blind hope. It was all a waste of time. The bastard never showed up.
And one more thing, there is an achievement you can get from this point on up to the end of episode 3. You have to complete it in 30 minutes.
Wake!
Where the hell are you?
Change of plans. You know where Mirror Peak is? It's a big mountain north of where you are. You follow the path from the mine, you can't miss it. There's a lookout point there. I'll be waiting.
I'm through being jerked around by
You
you.
want to see your wife alive? Because if you do, you better watch what you say to me. Do we understand each other?
I want to talk to Alice.
Yeah, and I want the manuscript. Don't keep me waiting, Wake.
Hello? Hello?
This achievement is impossible
I'm
to
gonna
get if
kill
you
I had
collect
to
all
get
the
to
stuff,
Mirror
you know.
Peak.
So I did it afterwards. And I think I included the achievement in the next episode,
It was close.
before beginning
Maybe
the next
closer than
episode.
ever before.
Not the whole 30 minutes run, but the end of it.
Oh, so you
For
did
co-
it off camera, more or less?
Yeah, exactly. I did it on camera, but it's kind of pointless to speed it up to a point where you have only 5 minutes because no one. It's you know, you've seen everything in here.
Yeah.
So just for completionism's sake, I included the end of the achievement run in the next episode 4 thing.
When Thomas Zane fell for Barbara Jagger, it happened fast. She was young, vibrant, and beautiful, full of life. He had never been a very happy man, and without any seeming effort, she had changed all that. Zane felt good for the first time in his life. Everything she did was another piece of a jigsaw puzzle he hadn't even known he'd been missing. And best of all, she made the words flow, strong and sharp.
So yeah, that
She
was
his
what
muse.
was I was wanted to point out that she was probably beautiful with a strong strong character, which is probably very attractive to a lot of people.
Yeah,
So maybe the guy on the radio show fell in love with her too.
yeah, it makes total sense.
Yeah, but I was
I
gonna-
could have missed that, but I don't know if there were any indications if that was true or not. I don't know. But it makes total sense if you think about it.
Yeah, it could make sense. Because he was talking about, like, well, it's the thing I can imagine. I mean, you have this small town and you have this
Yeah.
famous writer living like outside of the town, and you have this beautiful woman which is the muse of the writer, and some of the guys in the town maybe got jealous,
Yeah,
or maybe fell in love with her too.
makes total sense, definitely. Yeah, we did encounter these poltergeist objects. That's what they are called. On the bridge the first time, you know, the bridge when we went
Yeah.
to the train station.
Mm-hmm.
And these are really annoying. I hate them. It's again all about positioning. If you manage to get something in between you and the object, it has no way to get to you.
Oh, okay. So it's blocked off, or
Exactly.
yeah, yeah.
But it's if you're for example in an in a confined space, it's extremely hard to predict, and sometimes you have no way of wearing off the darkness of them before they get to you. And one of them is behind you and one of them is in front of you, so you can't step back or do anything forward. It's really annoying. And there, it's really clever to just throw down a flare, but it didn't do that. But it all worked out. So.
I just
This is the reference. I'm really maybe exaggerating with the references, but "They're Here" is a reference from the Poltergeist movie.
Oh, okay.
I don't know. Do you know the Poltergeist
No.
1 movie?
No.
It's a great horror movie. It has a lot of comedy aspects, and it's so great because of that.
Okay.
The acting is great. I really recommend it to everyone. And the upcoming part,
The only way to reach the hillside ahead was to go through the building.
the upcoming
Had to
part
find
is
a way
really
to avoid
hard. But
electrocution.
if you go into the car that was standing next to me a few seconds ago, you can just drive over, and then it's really easy. But I didn't see that car by that time. I didn't know the option was there. But you can avoid all the hassle by just getting into the car.
I have a really awesome interpretation now. in my
Oh,
head.
I'm really looking forward to this. Yeah.
Okay, but it's gonna be long, so I don't know. Maybe I'll get.
Yeah, you
interrupted.
have the time right now.
Okay, so
I'm just gonna be walking
There-
back, and there are a lot of taken. So go ahead.
there are a couple of hints which I will point out.
Yeah.
So this guy, the kidnapper, is after the manuscript,
Yeah.
and the manuscript is something. Why would somebody be after a manuscript of something like real things happening right now?
Yeah.
So, okay, this could be kind of far off. So the kidnapper, or what the kidnapper represents, could be Alan Wake's sanity. So have you ever thought, you know, when you're going like through really bad times, where nothing is working,
Yeah.
and you're having very dark thoughts, you kind of wake up out of these thoughts thinking like, okay, I have to find myself back. You know, I have to get back to my real myself again
Yeah.
without having really bad thoughts. So I think this is what Alan Wake is in right now. And look at the quest objective. Reach Mirror Peak. So the kidnapper is actually a part of Alan Wake. What he's thinking, you know, what he wants to get back is like his sanity. He wants to get the manuscript. So he wants to get back his reality, like the objective thought of the world.
Yeah.
So it's the mirror, like the mirror. He sees himself in the mirror, but he's like in a split.
Yeah. This is good. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And
I know what you mean.
I
Yeah.
had one more thing in mind, but I forgot right now, which would support this interpretation. Oh yeah, of course, the train yard. A train is always something like a, you know, you have in movies, you have riding a train, or like a train itself is the transportation into a new perspective or a new meta level of your life.
Yeah.
And he's going to Mirror Peak, and he has to go over a train, like by a train yard, you know, which could be
You mean the train as a transportation device to
yeah, more like
a new level of something, or to a new place?
yeah,
Or,
back to himself, back to reality,
yeah.
because he's bipolar. And remember, I think in the first episode I was talking about that he's afraid of going over liquids,
Yeah.
and suddenly he has to go over a river.
Yeah.
So for him, this is like a
This is, by the way, something we will get back to later. But keep on.
yeah, it's something he's like, no, this is hard because for us this is like reality, it's in the game, but for him it's like a journey through his mind, through his life, and he has to face all the things he's scared of
Yeah.
on this journey. And you have the train, like for
Some of the Taken retained echoes of their former selves, but these were just the nerve twitches of a dead thing. Nothing remained but a shell covered and filled with darkness. In most cases, these puppets were enough for the purposes of the dark presence. But for anything more elaborate, as with the writer, it was different. It needed his mind. And so rather than taking him over completely...
Yeah, and finding these pages of the manuscript is like he finds pieces out of this mess.
Yeah.
Well, it's really hard to explain, but you know what I mean, right?
I know what you mean, yeah.
It's kind of far off, but I think like Mirror Peak.
I mean, it's kind of complementing your previous theories.
Yeah.
There was no way the flashbang grenades were standard power.
The ones you had in episode, the ones you established throughout episode 1 and stated in episode 2.
Yeah. Yeah, it kind of fits.
And kind of fits.
It kind of
The
fits.
thing is with this game, essentially, you know, the premise was stated in the first 2 sentences of the game, in Stephen King's words.
Yeah, could you repeat the essence?
Yeah, I'm trying to repeat the words, but I have a hard time right now. Something like... explanations are not satisfactory, something like this. So you have always these questions which are open to several ways to answer them.
Yeah.
Even for me, who has played through the game entirely and try to soak in every piece of information.
I stared through the bars of the jail cell. Barry stood behind me, swaying on his feet, looking as ill as I felt. Agent Nightingale stood on the other side of the bars with Sheriff Breaker. Nightingale had a stack of manuscript pages in his hand. He seemed unhinged as he gloated. Well, I've got you now, Raymond Chandler. It's all here. All the evidence, including conspiracy to murder a federal agent.
I mean, that explanations are kind of destroying the spirit of the story is a good thing for me. Because I know that there are several ways of interpreting things. And because of this, I can listen to all your interpretations openly without thinking this is not what Sam Lake intended to display in this game, to show in this game. Even if, you know, you are kind of hinted in in a certain direction or something, it still is open, you know?
Yeah, of course. Of course, there's no right answer to this. But
this remains true through the whole game, which is great, I think.
yeah. If you have Sam Raimi,
Sam Lake.
Sam
Raimi.
Lake. That's who's the guy who wrote the story.
Great playing, by the way.
You
And it's
fell
gonna
through
get
the-
better.
You're
Wait
gonna
for
fall
it.
down again, or
Wait for it. This is one of my favorite parts of my playthrough, of my playing. Ooh!
Oh!
Yeah, that's great.
fall damage.
Yeah, this kind of thing destroys the magic of the game for the viewer, but I think it's kind of hilarious. Whatever. Yeah, Sam Lake.
Yeah, I mean, Sam Lake likes Twin Peaks, and he likes Lost, and he likes Stephen King, and which kind of
He likes dark pop culture, mysterious
he
pop
likes
culture.
pop culture, but for a reason, because I think the reason, in general, or like on a meta level, is more or less like as a human. Oh, okay, this is gonna be too complicated.
I don't know.
But I think the whole theme of you're lost, and you're lost in a place you don't know, and the only thing you have is like a flashlight. These are like
I had no
being
real plan.
lonely,
I was
being
going to give the kidnapper all the manuscript
forced into
pages I had for
situations
hours.
where you feel
If
lost
that wasn't
and
enough,
where you're
I'd hold him
scared.
at gunpoint
Yeah.
And,
make him talk.
All these human emotions, which somebody who likes Stephen King and who likes David Lynch, and who likes Lost, are fears which you have like every day.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
and
As a normal human being, yes.
as a normal human being. And I think these themes are very like very general. I like these themes, and I like how they are like displayed
Yeah.
here.
Yeah, that's probably the reason why I like this game so much. Because these are the topics which the game addresses in a, for me, appropriate way, or I don't know if appropriate's the right word, or in an interesting way, without being too obvious, you know?
Yeah.
And by the way, I used chipmunk mode because episode 3 has its lengths and it's kind of dragged out. And I tried to, you know, not waste everyone's time just pointing a flashlight, like you said before, and shooting.
Yeah.
Going through the woods.
I'm very satisfied by this game. I think it's great.
Yeah, I think so too.
I think all the aspects of it are great.
The dark
And it's
presence
getting
was moving
better.
ahead of me in the same
From episode
direction I
4
was
on,
going. A cold feeling settled itself in
the
pit of
story
my
is really
stomach.
driven on.
Was it going for Alice?
The plot is taking definite directions and is not so open, you know.
Okay.
But it still is open to interpretation, like I said before, always.
Shift may cause cancer.
And it's really metaphorical, but yeah, this is a new type of enemy. I mean, we saw that before with Stucky and Rusty, but there were no normal taken that could phase in this weird way through space and time, you know what I mean? And just circle around you in this weird phasing state.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. It's the first time we meet him as a normal enemy. And all the big enemies are a pain in the ass in nightmare mode. I think this one takes probably minimum like double the shots.
Oh, okay.
It takes here.
So
and
you run out of ammo really fast.
exactly, and at least double the time to wear off his darkness. And the big charging ones with the axe,
The place was dead, a ghost town.
they take
Had
like
been for
6
decades,
or
maybe a
8
century.
direct shotgun shots, or like 10 plus normal gunshots. It takes ages. It takes like 3 batteries to wear down
Really?
the darkness.
Would that be that can be like quite annoying, right? I mean,
Yeah, you're just getting used to skipping as much as you can,
okay.
because otherwise you're running out of ammo. You're running out of batteries.
Things were never as simple in real life as in fiction. I had lost count of the times I had wished there'd be a clear reason for my writer's block. Something to fight, something to lash out on. There wasn't. I was filled with doubt. I was nothing like the hero in my books. Alex Casey had gone through his life with single-minded determination, never wavering from his goal. Even now, I was angry at myself, angry at Alice, angry at Barry. I was fumbling.
So what do you say,
and I had no plan.
arriving in this ghost town? Let's take a short break, because this time I have to go to the bathroom.
Really?
Yeah, I'm sorry to switch the
Because my bladder
tables.
is empty.
Oh my god, yeah. I think this would be a good time, right?
Of course.
I'll see you again soon.